legacy is this game more important for? Joe Cool or Showtime Mahomes?
Mahomes. It's no blips on Mahomes' overall record, overall performances outside of being 0-3 against the Cincinnati Bengals, who are led by Joe Burrow. This is important for Mahomes. Now, there is another element to this because of the ankle, right? It takes a little bit away from that. If you're real about sports, you want your stars at full capacity when they meet. You want Mahomes at 100%, you want Burrow at 100%. The thing is, Burrow team has been better, and Burrow has played very, very well across from Patrick Mahomes in these games, right? So when we start having a conversation about, well, what was the one thing that Patrick Mahomes struggled with? You don't want this to become Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. I think this has more to do with his legacy than it does Burrow. Burrow will have more success. Joe Burrow is only in his third year, y'all. I know it feels like he's been in the league 10 years. He only in his third year. He's a very successful quarterback. As good as they come, I think he's the second best quarterback in the NFL behind Patrick Mahomes. But this will be about Mahomes' legacy of not being able to get over Joe Burrow in this little 4-game stretch right here if he loses this game.
For me personally, it's about Mahomes because and I'm going to make this very, very simple. As great as we talk about him, knowing how phenomenal he is, we cannot escape the fact that the reigning defending AFC champions are quarterbacked by a guy named Joe Burrow, who has beaten Patrick Mahomes every single time he's faced him. You lose again to Patrick. You win again against Patrick Mahomes. Back-to-back AFC championship games, you take him out.
Conversation
changes. The conversation changes about Mahomes. We now have to talk about Burrow instead of Mahomes in that regard. We know Mahomes is great, and we know he's phenomenal. But we're going to talk about him a little differently because it ain't him and everybody else anymore. It'll be Burrow and everybody else because he took both him and Allen out in the same playoffs year.
Okay.
You know, when I look at it, though, you guys are right about Patrick Mahomes, but here's what I would say about Joe Burrow. If he goes and he takes care of Patrick Mahomes, he now moves into a different position as far as the quarterbacks go. He hadn't had his MVP, but the legacy, if he goes to the Super Bowl and he rolls in the next season, he's going to be the odds-on favorite to win the MVP by far. Okay, Jalen Hurts will be right there. Mahomes will still be in there, but it'll be the hype. It'll be all the hype machine. And he's gone to 2 consecutive Super Bowls. He's now gone into Kansas City. Now he has beaten them 4 times in a row. Yeah. Okay, opposed to, oh, well, yeah, it was a fluke. They did it a year ago. Now he cements his legacy as I own the Kansas City Chiefs. You know how Aaron Rodgers says he owns Chicago? He now can say I own the Kansas City Chiefs. I've been to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years as a full-time starter in the National Football League. It's not a whole lot of people that's done that.
Not
in
just
fact,
that,
I don't think there's anybody that's done that.
Not just that, Key. The first year don't even count because he got hurt.
He got injured.
And he went down. So his first 2 seasons, his first 2 full seasons, he went to the Super Bowl. And, oh, by the way, he will have won back-to-back AFC championship games at Arrowhead.
At Arrowhead. So all that is riding on a legacy that's just getting started. They just getting started with him.
That's
so I think he's got a lot riding on.
That's why I wish Patrick Mahomes wasn't hurt. I wanted 100% healthy because I don't want any excuses. I don't want any excuses.
Me too. Because you know it's going to come out.
Not going to be 100% healthy.
I know.
No, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, let's keep it going, guys. When we come back here on First Take, will Tom Brady go out losing to the Cowboys, or will the GOAT make a return for his 20th?
An earlier time when I was, I think, younger than Hembo is now, and it was always, Cowboys and Bills, and the Bills went to 4 straight championships. So I was thinking, is it Emmitt Smith? Is it Thurman Thomas? I'm back and forth. I'm going to guess Thurman Thomas.
That's right.
Yes.
It is Thurman Thomas. It is. And Emmitt Smith is second. I mean, that is really incredible. It's Thurman Thomas folled by Emmitt Smith.
Somebody said Franco Harris.
Someone said Franco Harris, and he is third.
God, we're all
and then Tony Dorsett is fourth. That is an incredible guess. So Graziano is up 4-1. Hembo didn't even come in here today because he knew that Graziano was going to get it right, and he didn't want to face the humiliation. 4-1 Graziano. That is really remarkable. Okay, next game is called Awesome, Awful, awkward after the awesome performance from Graziano. Neek, give me something awesome you saw this weekend.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to make you guys watch this as many times as I possibly can. It was in my earlier little Zero Fox thing. I'm putting it in here, too. With music behind it, it's the coolest damn thing of the whole damn weekend. And we want to give Joe Burrow all these accolades. Just be that one. He's the coolest quarterback in football. He ain't better than Patrick Mahomes, but he's cool as hell. Look at that man.
Graziano, give me something awful from the weekend.
Well, how long did we talk about Dak Prescott's interceptions this year and how that made it the reason we didn't trust him in the playoffs? He throws 2 of them against the 49. What was that? Where is he throwing? He's trying to throw it out of bounds. He needs to go higher. I don't know, man. Awful. Look, I mean, we pile on, right? We could have done this with Josh Allen too, but they gave me Dak Prescott because it's get up and it was awful.
Swagoo, give me something awkward from the weekend.
Guys, did y'all see the last play of the playoff game?
Good snap, though.
I mean, what the frick, man? Almost cursed. What are they doing? First of all, what is this play? Is this Mike McCarthy or is this Kellen Moore responsible for this? Who did this, okay? Because that's the guy that needs to be out. Look at Zeke, man. That may be Zeke's last play as a Dallas Cowboy, and he played damn center.
The snap was good, man.
It was a really weird. When they first line up, you're thinking, wow, they must have something really creative.
This is going to be great.
And then it turns out to be
so difficult, man.
Just
hideous. It's just difficult. It's difficult being a fan of this team, man.
So listen,
is, bro.
Marcus, I was reading your notes from last night.
Oh, man.
Here's the question that I have, because the conversation, look, Jerry Jones has canceled his radio interviews for today. We don't know why. I read the article from the radio station itself in Dallas. They don't know the reason why. In nowhere are we suggesting it is because something incredibly important is going on. We don't know. We'll find out when we find out. That said, one of the questions people will bring up is about the status of the head coach in Dallas, and the reason for that is because this is a team that maybe, Marcus, feels as though it's kind of gone as far as it's going to go under the current circumstances.
3 years.
They may also be about to lose a guy who might be the best coach in their building, which is their defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn. Do you feel that a head coaching change is a reasonable option in Dallas right now, Marcus Spears? Yes or no?
I do not. I do not. Like I just can't. I can't wrap my mind around a coach winning 25, 26 games in his first 3 years. The last 2 years, he's won that amount of games. Got to the divisional round of the playoffs. Quarterback turning the football over. You did not pick the offensive coordinator. Would it be better if Mike McCarthy had his own OC? I don't know. But the fact that he doesn't have his own OC, and yeah, he got to play the game, and this is what it's about with Jerry and hiring certain guys. He probably told Mike McCarthy, hey, you're going to take this job, but I'm also keep Kellen Moore as your offensive coordinator. The one thing I don't want nobody doing for me is hiring for me. I don't want nobody to pick my wife for me. I pick my own wife, okay? I don't want nobody picking my friends. I pick my own friends. I pick people that I'm going to do. And I'm not saying that this hasn't been a good thing because people always throw, well, they the number one offense in the NFL and they score the most points. Okay, what matters in this league, especially when it comes to the Cowboys, what do you do in critical situations? And we've seen them become epic failures in critical situations with play calling and quarterback play.
Yeah.
The reason why I agree with Marcus, you don't need to make a big change. And the reason why is before the season started, I don't think any of us had them as competitive, like championship level team. No one going into this game thought that they were better than the 49ers. They lost. Their quarterback played poorly. It was sad. It was disappointing. But going from that to let's fire our coach after 2 competitive seasons, a playoff win, to me feels like an overreaction.
No, it would be an overreaction. It wouldn't be fair. He has certainly not done the kind of job that one gets fired for. The question, I wouldn't think, but the question is, do we need something to shake up the system because it is not, we're not getting to where we ultimately want to get.
Yeah, it's not about fairness. It's about meritocracy. If we're a championship-driven organization, we're falling short. Final 12 last year, final 8 this year. And Greeny, when you lead the league in penalties with 278, you have 23 turnovers, those are indications that you are not well coached or disciplined. And when your quarterback throws 11 of the 17 interceptions when you're tied or have the lead, that is unacceptable. The margins in playoff games are incredibly small. This team could be better coached.
Here's what I will say, Dominique, is that the regression of the quarterback is somewhat alarming. Now, I'm not blaming that. I don't know who to blame it on. How would I know who to blame it on? But that is, quarterbacks don't usually go in that direction the way he is.
Yeah, that's fine. He had a bad year.
Right.
He's coming off of an injury. I don't think that the expectations of him being Patrick Mahomes, like, that's not fair. But I'm not arguing about the coach saying it's fair, and talking about coach hiring and using the word meritocracy is absurd. No one here believes that hiring coaches is based on a meritocracy. I'm making the point that they are close, and assuming that